the line, so to get
That's right.
there, it would have to be a discussion, I think, for the board to be able to deal with.
Well, the school department has laid claim to about 15 acres up there for a future potential school, so no matter what happens, whether that remains fallow or not, if they put a school there, there'll be sewer. So that'll be required to be laid up there. This is going to be, I presume, a 40B project, with the exception that they'll all be countable as rental units. I'm not sure what you mean by the project might not be tenable if the developer needs to lay in. I certainly see what you mean if they need to lay in sewer at $1 million. But Mr. Potter raises a relevant point that we've just invited a whole lot of tie-ins there. But have you had an opportunity to look at in the CETA files the original sewer concept that we were looking at up there, the package system we were looking at? Number one, and two, we were contemplating about 140 units up there. That we may not need 140, 100 might do, because I understand that there is an affordable project that will be 100% counted, maybe 40 to 60 units on Main Street that's in the works. But that has not been announced yet, but if that's true, then that will reduce the need of the scope of this project. But have you had a chance to look at that package, the original package? Because that was contemplated at between $800 and $1 million.
I saw the package about 6 months ago, but I have not been able to find it recently. I've been in touch with Mostech Associates who did the proposal, and I've asked them for a copy, but I haven't seen it yet. If you know where there is one, I would really appreciate it.
I might have one at home. I'll try and dig it up for you.
I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, and we also reserved about 5 acres for that.
Yes.
So there's 4 recreational fields up there. The schools has about 15 acres. 5 acres we were segregating for sewer, and the remaining 15 acres or so was for this project. And you may have or may not have seen the layouts and the different conceptual designs we had for up to 140 units. But obviously that's a lot of give and take, and the engineering is what's going to drive the project,
exactly.
Obviously. So I guess my only comment would be, if we don't have to lay up sewer, that would be the best way to handle it. The package system may cost about the same, but it'll avoid a lot of the problems that the chair just mentioned. And since the land is being effectively deeded away for gratis, that should be enough of an offset for the developer to handle the sewer. But that's all the numbers crunching that we'll have to do as well. But it's a very good start. I mean, we're off and running, and I'm grateful.
Well, if I may, a couple of issues as far as the sewer is that we also have to keep in mind of the TMDLs that will be coming down the pike as far as the nitrogen loading and things like that. So while I appreciate your idea of keeping it below 10,000 so it doesn't trigger a MEPA review, the town, because we have such a high concentration of nitrogen in our water already, and the report will be coming out, we will be attempting to reduce nitrogen levels. We're going to be required by DEP, but we're going to be doing that. So we'll probably be going into some type of a, the under 10 parts per million anyway, which would be the MEPA review. So when you're considering that, as far as saying, well, if we're going to stay below, say 90 bedrooms, which would be just under the 10,000, even under that, we would hold ourselves to that higher standard of nitrogen reduction. So if it would be feasible to go to 130 or 150, which was the sewer one, it would probably be more feasible that way, because we would want to do that to offset the, additional costs on that. And as far as the sewer line, it is something that we can discuss. I don't know if it would be a forced main.
Probably
so
would be.
therefore, we wouldn't be requiring the Campanelli homes on the way up. I don't think we'd be requiring those to hook in, because we were going to do the same thing in Agawam. If you remember, we were going to go up Indian Neck and pass all the houses up there all the way to get up to the Agawam area. And we were actually going to tell all of those people that none of them could tie in because of that. So I think that if it is under the 40B, we would only have to deal with those number of units and/or the school. I don't think we'd have to require anything else up there because of the force main situation. So, but we would, well, in my opinion, I think we would and should and would hold ourselves to that higher MEPA standard. So that may disperse some of, even though the cost will be higher, if we can add more units, and kind of mix, yeah, apples to apples on it.
Yes.
So that's all I had.
All right.
Is there anybody I should talk to between now and the next time I meet with you? You asked me to talk to CDM, so I assume that's Mike Giudice that I should talk to.
Right.
Is there anybody else that I should talk to on this that would help you get some information that would help you make a decision?
I would just contact the seat office and get all the files you can from the
Yep.
original. Save yourself a lot of legwork, and
Yep.
and I believe those original design concepts are still in there, and they were beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think we got as far as the assisted living design component, so I think that's still yet to be
Right.
addressed. But and I would contact the seat office directly and speak to the staff, because they'll be able to give you everything you need. That was at
Yeah,
least
John and I
generally
did that about a week and a half ago, and
was.
we couldn't find it. So if
Oh no, I'm not talking about just the sewer. I mean, all of the original design concepts, all the original notes. I would go through the meeting minutes of many of the vendors that we had come in and talk with us. That might be fruitful for you.
all right, I'll do that, sir.
Excuse me, Selectman Savage, were you talking about when they were presenting it as just affordable housing? Is that the concept, or is
No, that was the first
okay,
go-around. The most recent concept was the
senior?
senior with the assisted, and we had several vendors come in and talk to at that time, the Affordable Housing Partnership. But the SETA director was staff to that group, and so I would hope that all those files and all the minutes of those meetings would be in there. You can chat.
I'll follow up on that. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Well, Mr. Chairman, if
Yes.
I could, I understand that the forced main issue may not require us to tie the houses along the way in, but it may not be such a bad idea for us to consider those houses. I know that they're all built pretty much on slabs, aren't they?
Yep.
In the Westfield area. And I know that maybe some people up there might be interested in having sewer. It could help the town offset the cost. If we have the capacity, I think we should look into that as a capacity issue, because we're also, as Selectman Ekstrom so succinctly pointed out, going to be under the gun for reducing nitrogen. And if that's an area that we are going to go by, and it's an area that has a lot of houses in one spot, it seems like a natural spot to consider for sewer. So I think that people up there might be very happy. I know when it rains up there, it's pretty bad. And they're sort of in the same situation that Cremisa was in
What's
prior.
the closest sewer project we're going to have active that we're going to be laying in? What would be the absolute closest?
Well, I think the closest to there right now is the mall.
Is what?
Is the mall.
The
But
beach
that's
on-
done.
No, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
the
that's
neighborhoods that we're going to be sewering.
probably
What?
Mayflower Ridge.
That's it?
Toby Road is where connection is.
No, but the current projects, I
Yeah,
think
I know,
Mayflower
right,
Ridge.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
the
there
current
isn't-
projects are all at this end of town, there's nothing up to that end
And
of town.
and down towards